Hello, hello, my darlings. I'm Faith from Faith and Grits, and I'm here with my Journal de la Couturière journal. From using the Rach and Bella kit papers, making a start. And today I'm just making some simple mini writing journals to live inside the journal. So I hope you hang about with me for a bit, and for you, I'll be back in a tick. Right, my darlings, a quick little make now for my Journal de la Couturière. I'm still not sure on a name, if I want Ghislaine or Esméralda. So I'm not all that up out of the way for the minute. So I want to get mini journals, just writing journals, into these up pockets, those really, really big up pockets. And there's 4 of those in the book, 2 there and 2 back here on that lace page. So I want 2 mini books to go in there. So I've cut them down to size. I've used the papers that I'd already, squeaky chair, I'd already printed out for my covers. So I've chosen those for my covers, and I have got 2 baskets full of scraps that I pulled out to use to poke through to make the cover. So I've gone through the scraps and I've done a piece like that. So I've just got a plain signature in here. I've just a selection of blank papers, tea-dyed papers, grid paper, just different ones, because this is just meant to be a writing journal for me, and I've rounded the corners, and I've inked using a brown StazOn, I believe. So that then, I've arranged that from the kit onto just some scrappy bits of fabric and lace, and adhered them onto a piece of sewing paper and run it a bit wonky through, well, not wonky, I went around the tag, the cardstock first of all, and then I went back and did a wonky one going around. So those are going to get glued to the cover, like so. And then those will be bound to go in as mini books. So let's have a look at the first one here together. And I did go through and iron my scraps just because they're so balled up inside inside those baskets in my scrap box. So yeah, a piece of sewing pattern paper, so if any of it does peek through. And then it's just about, I'm not very good at collage, but I'm working on it. But it's that similar sort of principle, isn't it? Get a piece, get something on there. And then think, what direction do I want? Pardon me. Oh, I gotta sneeze. Hold on. Right, there we go. So yeah, it's just playing and trying not to overthink it, because otherwise I'll sit here for ages, oohing, umming and ahhing and undecided, and yeah, so it's just, I've got to just start, as Steph does, just go in for it. And let myself be surprised by the outcome. Get that on there. That's far too big. Can't tell which side's up. That side's up. So let's just get, I'll save that bottom bit. That's got a bit of ruffle on it for something else. And this has just come from like net curtains. Save a bit of that as well. Net curtains that I find in the charity shops. Add a bit of lace trim on there. And maybe leave that one off. Add, that's far too long. And you do reach a point where you've got to sort of determine, right, these scraps are too small to keep anymore, and start chucking things away. You have to. And maybe that one, a bit catty corner. It is fraying on the edge. pop my sewing machine sort of right in the middle. No, I'm happy with that. I don't think it needs that piece. Keep those scrappy bits. Let's have a look at the next one. And yeah, this is just a quick idea, and then I'll get them run through the sewing machine and get the 3-hole sort of stitch put in. I quite like that as a background. That's a bit of a sheer piece. That's the background there. Before I go in the machine as well, I'll make sure nothing's sort of hanging off the sides. Do I want her going at an angle? Yes, I think I want her going at an angle. So let's get a piece of that up there. And do I want that on top? So yeah, this is... I'll put that on top. It covers up the ruler. I quite like that. Do I want that bit on there as well? Or maybe that on top and that one underneath. It's all sliding around, because of course nothing is stuck yet. And as if I can get this one right, I'll show you how I glued them. Yes. Yes. I quite like that. So all I did is to stick my hand on it, see if this doesn't go horribly wrong on camera, and I flipped it over, and I tried to lay it down in one piece. Now I know that white piece isn't going to stick in this instance. And the cardstock piece might not either, but some of it will. And then what I did was I glue sticked the back, the sewing machine paper, sewing pattern paper, sorry, not same thing, I suppose. And then laid that to cover most of it. I do have some spray and stick. I've tried it a few times. Sometimes it works a treat and I don't have any issues. And then one time I tried it on lace and my sewing machine had an absolute fit. So let's try. It's not going to grab everything, but it's going to grab some of it and hold it just enough for my sewing. Yes, that's not quite gonna hold, but that's okay. I'll put a little bit, but I'll leave the glue stick dry a bit before I stick it through my machine. And sticky fingers now. So I really want to get stuck in now and play with these papers. Figure out what I'm going to put in there, and I've gone over a bit with that. Will it come up? Over just a bit. Because I want her to go a little bit sideways. And that's going to go on top. So just put a little bit on the back of her. The papers are beautiful. I'm going to ink them all, though, quite darkly. That's just to my taste, really. And I've got some lovely finds I found in my craft room to include as we get going and really start putting embellishments and things on. Things I'd forgotten I had. Go. But it is going to be my personal journal, so I'll work on it up to a certain point and then do a flip through. Let's see what we can get in there. So that one just needs to go away and the glue stick to dry for a few minutes. And that will go on to that one. It needs a bit of trim. So, and then I'm going to go away and do the last now with this one. Suffer you through watching me fuss. I'm going to do the exact same process with that one and these fabric scraps, and then get everything sewn and get these bound just with a simple 3-hole stitch. So that's me back in a few ticks. Right, my darlings, all these are stitched, run through the sewing machine, glue stick dried, ran through, stitched them all down. Those are now bound. I've done them with just a 3-hole stitch with some embroidery floss. So again, these are just meant to be writing journals to go in the book. What I did forget to, I did it on camera using just my hand to flip them over, and I knew at the moment I did it, that's not the way I did it before. The way I did it before was with a piece of paper. Fold up a piece of copy paper. Once you've lined all those up where you want them, regardless of what your backing is, line up all your pieces, stick a piece of, have it on your piece, stick a piece of printer paper on it, then flip it, and then lift it up, and it will stay more or less intact. So that was what I just wanted to mention. So let's get this one glued on. And the whole reason why I've put that sewing paper, that patterned paper on there, is just to give me a better gluable surface to go onto the cover of the mini books. One of the last ones I've stitched now through. My machine needs some TLC now. The bobbin went all snagged up on me, so she's all taken apart back there, ready for a bit of TLC. And I've got a can of canned air around here somewhere I need to find. Blow all the dust and the paper dust out of the machine and give it a good oil and that kind of thing. So we go and just glue it down. Give Art a moment to do his thing. And what I've done on these other ones as well is where I've got the dangly fabric at the bottom. I don't care about the sides or the top being a bit floppy, but the pieces at the very bottom, like there, I've gone through and given them a little bit of extra glue because these books are going in and out from that direction. So it's just to stop them from snagging, and it's personal preference, I think, really. But for this one, I want them to go in and out of this fabric pockets without getting caught too much. So now I want to put some tabs on these. So I can do these 3 off camera and just go through and show you what I mean on this one. So I've got some fabric scraps out. And I want, this is seven sheets in the signature, which equates to 28 pages. So every 2 pages, I want to put some sort of little tab. But my tab can't stick out too far because of the nature of the pocket that it's going in. So let's just try anything here, really. Scissors, let's get the tonic scissors out. I gotta say, I treated myself to these, and I'm so glad I did. They are very, very nice to use. I was very skeptical, but I'm sold. So I'm going to take 2 little scrappy bits of something, and I'm going to go to that 1, 2, and I just want to stick them on with a stapler to jut out the teeniest bit. Maybe not that one. Let's just try a bit of one. There we go. Oh, I can't not do this at this angle. I'm going to have to turn it around. I can't see what I'm doing. Oh, me. I've got to sort out a solution in this room for the summer for a fan, because I'm heating up in here tonight. And, of course, I've run out of staples. Where have I put them? Right. I need to go find them now. So I can check. Right. Sorry about that. I didn't even think to check the stapler. I've got 2 of these apothecary things. Standard staples, other staples. So these, oh, I got some spare ones down the bottom here. There we go. And no, really pleased with this tiny attacher. I bought it on holiday the last time I was in the States, and I got me a couple of extra refills for it. I've never seen one in the shop in the UK for sale. So I've got 1, 2 pages and a tab. 1, 2 pages, and then I want another little tab of something. Let's try that. And I want it sort of there. Yes. And stick that one down. So I can always go back and stick something on top of the staples. That's fine. I'm not worried about that. And then another 2 pages, which includes my central spread. And then another tab, say there. And let's try a piece of that. Shall I fold it around a bit? Yes. But keep it not jutting out very far. There we go. 1, 2, 3, and another one at the bottom. Skipping 2 pages, and maybe a little piece of that. And a little piece of that on top. Yes. Yes. That sheer stuff, it's fraying like mad. What page am I on? Yeah, that one. And just folding it over and guessing to how much I want jutting out. And as it's a personal journal, I can go back and pretty those up or add embellishments or whatever to them. So I've now got, oh, that is fraying really crazy. Snip some more off. So I now have the cover done, 4 little fabric tabs stuck in. So let's try, how am I doing for time? I think I'm okay. Yeah, let's try adding some random stamping on some of the pages for inspiration for my future self. I'm not going to use my stamping platform. I'm just going to use my blocks. I got a few here. I've had a rummage through. I've had that Tim Holtz one for a while. I haven't done a lot with it. I've got two here with rulers. That one's got stitching as well. And I've got that one off Amazon. So let's have a go. Just stick, what do I want? Black. I've got a black here, and I've got a stays-on brown. So let's have a think. First page, I definitely want and this is how I store my stamps, by the way. When you get them in the original packaging, you've got that flappy with the adhesive on it. I open it up and I chop that flappy off. And I keep the original cellophane bag for as long as it holds out. And it does help me sort of keep them in the way that I organize mine. Because I have mine in boxes. So let's have a go. Have that one on the first page for sure. And the reason why I've sewn those onto that pattern paper and then glued them rather than sewing them directly onto the cover is because I want that page intact. So let's get that one on there. It might be a little lumpy because I've got that I've got those fabric tags in, but I don't care. Try that one in black. I'm just going to put some random ones on edges of pages. And push. I'm not fussed if they go wrong, because I can go back in with colored pencils, with my pens, my drawing pens, and I can, yeah, that one's gone a little wonky, but that's okay. That's fine, because I can go in and work on that. Perhaps take this one on holiday with me this year. Let's stick something in there until that dries. And on there, let's have measuring tape. Let's go with a Tim Holtz one. I like that one. Because I am stamping up against that ribbon. Let's fold the book back a bit. But this is more or less the general idea, is that I want to go in and embellish a few random spots in each one of the mini books for when I'm ready to start playing. There we go. And what else have I got? Perhaps I need to lay all four out and do it that way. Yeah. Try that stays on brown, because stays on does dry quite quickly. On there. Put something underneath that, I wonder. I haven't gotten another glue book out. I don't have anything to go underneath there. There I do. How that? And let's have a look. Sewing machine. So now I've got a few sewing things out. I've got some button collections that I did a while back for a craft fair that I want to have a go at. And get fabric cards made for this one. I'm puzzling at the moment because I want fabric cards where the fabric can be changed, can be moved about and changed. Because I've got some really old pieces that I'd like to put in the book, but still be able to remove at a later date and use if possible. And then, what is this? Somebody in Craft Club told me, said you gotta walk around your stamp. You walk around your stamp. You gotta put your thumbs on it and sort of move around. Ooh, I like that. I'm sure somebody was saying that in one of the workshops we had a while back, and it just gave me the giggles terribly. Walk around the stamp. But it does make sense, because you've got to sort of, even on a stamping platform, you've got to go around and give it that sort of even pressure going around. Now, happy with that one. And let's give another one over. Oh, that's gone all the way through. There we go. On there. Ooh, what else have I got? I do like that sort of quirky one from the Tim Holtz. That almost sort of fits around that tab, doesn't it? Perfect. There we go. And black or brown? Black. And black. I hope I'm on camera. Yeah, I believe I am. I can see on the screen next to me when I think to look up. Anyway. No, I've thoroughly enjoyed this collaboration with Rach and Bella. The ideas have been really great. I watched Corey's tonight. She did 3 one-page wonders. The first one was sort of a twist on the, what I call the Joey DeFee one, but doing it slightly different. And I've sat here tonight and mocked up 2 more with printer paper of the ones that she's done. That's come out, it's a little bit smudged. So no, the ideas have been amazing. I still haven't caught up on everybody's videos, all the extra videos that people have done. It's just been, there's not enough time at the moment. I need to wait for my holidays. There we go. I quite like the placement of that one, to be honest, because it's right up against sort of, it looks purposeful to me. It may look random to some, but to me it's purposeful. And then on that last one, let's have a big ruler. Got some skinny ones there. Those aren't terribly long. Actually, let's have this one. Or no, actually, no rulers. Let's put, that one. No. Needle book. And needles and a thread, round one. Let's do a cluster of those right at the bottom. Another one, spool. Yes. No, I'm all right with that. Because I can go back in with my art pens and doodle around them if I want to. So let's get that stuck onto a platform. and get that thin. It says all in create at the bottom. Same thing, but it's super thin. That one's really, really thin, and those are really thick. But that one I found in a charity shop. Pop that one under there. Do these in brown or black? Black. I've not done a lot of stamping on camera. I just think how to sort of plan it and how to do it in my head before I think about doing it on camera. Does that make sense? So get those down. Walk around the stamp. There we go. Really, this could have been done with a stamping platform before the books were bound. But never mind. It doesn't matter. And for those, the people who don't sew, it's just staple. Glue things on. Ink. Anything can be a stamp as well. Don't go off and spend crazy money on stamps. Watch your charity shops and your junk shops and your secondhand marketplaces and things like that. Because people do get rid of craft stashes and get rid of stamp collections and stuff. You've just got to be on the lookout for them. But anything could be a mark making tool. Anything at all. So, no, that is kind of the idea at the moment. So I am going to go and do the exact same thing on the other 3 mini books. And then I will pop back on and we'll get them in the book. So, back at the check. Right, my darlings, back and they're all done. Ready to go in. I'm quite pleased with how the covers have come out. And my little fabric tabs. And of course I've got the inking on some random pages. So with that one, got some tabs added to that one. Tried to match some of the scraps from the original, from the cover anyway. And added some stamping. And I quite like the way that's offset. That one's, and they're very textural with those tabs as well. But of course, as I'm working in the journal, I can embellish over the top of where I've stapled. So no, quite pleased with those. I need to get them in the book. So, here we go. Let's see. And no particular order. And let's hope they fit. They should fit. They'll be fine. I'll pop that one in the top. And it should make then these pockets much more rigid. And they pull in and out quite easily. So that pocket then is quite more like a page, if that makes sense. Pop that one in there. And there we go. And the other one is, so as you can see, once those pages are less floppy now because they're full. So as you can see, once these start having nice big interactive journal cards and things in them, it will behave more like a book. The pages will anyway. So in we go. And that's why I didn't want to make those tabs too long, because they can just squash into the pocket. And still not settled on a name yet. It's down to a tie between Ghislaine and Esméralda. So I'm not sure yet. But, and I could put something behind there. We'll see. So I've still got lots of pages to play with. And where have they gone? They're there. I've still got lots of pages to play with that I've already printed. Those are all double-sided. I've got a wallet full of fussy cuts to play with. And all from the Journal de la Couturière. and some odds and sods on the table behind me that I've dug out for my stash. So thank you ever so much for watching, and hope to see you back again soon. Bye for now.